By June, most of us have spent weeks cleaning up the garden, raking and cutting back, pulling out every dried stem that looks dead. But here's the honest truth. The garden's most beautiful season might actually be hiding in all that mess you're about to throw away. And the best part? You don't have to plant anything extra to make it happen. I know how it feels. Spring cleanup is satisfying. You want that clean, fresh look, those new green shoots, that tidy garden aesthetic that feels accomplished. But here's what happens to most gardeners. You remove everything brown and brittle by mid-June, and then September comes around, and you're staring at green lumps and flat shrubs, wondering why your garden doesn't have any visual drama. Meanwhile, you've got neighbors whose gardens seem to glow in October. Ornamental grasses catching light, delicate seed heads frosted and glowing, dried structures that look intentional, like actual garden design. The difference isn't that they planted more, it's that they left things alone. Today, I'm showing you 5 things to deliberately leave untouched in June, the mess that actually creates autumn magic. These aren't extra plantings you have to source or learn to grow. These are structures you've already got standing in your garden right now. By October, they'll be your secret weapon for fall color that needs 0 extra effort beyond a decision you make today. Before we get into exactly which 5 things you need to protect, here's something worth knowing. Timing matters, but knowing when not to act is just as important. My Autopilot garden covers exactly this, recognizing which tasks deliver real beauty and which ones you can safely skip without losing anything. It's all about working with your garden's rhythm and getting that fall color without extra effort. You'll find the link in the description below. Now let's dive into those 5 things to leave alone.
Right, let me get straight into this. Here are 5 specific things standing in your garden right now that you should leave completely untouched in June if you want October to absolutely deliver. First, ornamental grass seed heads. If you've got ornamental grasses, do not cut them back in June. Not now. I know the instinct. I've felt it. They look rangy, the foliage is getting tall and messy, and it feels like you should tidy them while you're in cleanup mode. Resist that. Right now, these grasses are building those feathery, delicate seed heads that are about to become the most visually dramatic part of your garden. By mid-July, those heads will open and lighten. Come September and October, when the sun shifts lower in the sky, those same seed heads will catch light like nothing else in your garden. They'll glow. A mature clump of miscanthus with morning frost on those seed heads is a moment that beats any single plant you could buy in August. And it costs nothing, you already have it. Come November, when frost hits hard and most plants fold flat, your ornamental grasses are still standing tall, still adding height and movement and shape. That's not work, that's genius. Leave them alone. Second, perennial seed heads. Coneflowers, black-eyed Susans, anything that faded naturally. This changes how you see your entire garden. Most of us learn to deadhead spent flowers to encourage blooms and keep things tidy. That works for some plants, but not for fall drama. When coneflower petals drop, what's left is papery, intricate, architectural. That's not waste. Goldfinches will visit those seed heads. Frost clings to them in ways that catch light. Black-eyed Susans age from golden yellow to dusty copper to deep mahogany, each stage genuinely beautiful. If you have sedums, watch what happens there. Sedum flowers shift from pink or white into russet, burgundy, deep wine-colored structures. By October, a sedum flower head is rich, sophisticated, completely transformative. Cut those flowers off in June, and you've thrown away an entire season of color. Leave them standing, and you get color nobody had to plant, nobody had to buy, nobody had to plan for. It was always there. You just have to wait. Third, hollow-stemmed perennials. Alliums, tall fennel, angelica, certain yarrows. This is where most gardeners miss an entire visual opportunity. A hollow stem is shelter for insects and a place where beneficial pollinators overwinter. Come June, you might look at tall fennel or an ornamental onion and think, that's getting leggy, I should cut that down. Don't. Let it stand. By September and October, those hollow stems become visual elements all on their own, thin and papery, sometimes almost skeletal. Frost clings to them in fine lines.
You get delicate architectural texture that solid stems could never give you. Your garden goes from looking finished to looking intentional and thoughtful. And functionally, you're providing something real, habitat and structure and purpose. Leave them alone. Here's the truth about fall beauty. The difference between a garden that stops people and one that blends into the landscape often isn't a shopping trip. It's not, I'm going to get special fall plants in August. It's usually a decision made in June. The decision to let certain things stand and evolve instead of cleaning them away. Most gardeners think fall color is something you engineer. Buy a mum, plant an ornamental cabbage, add grasses in September. But the most dramatic autumn gardens let what's already there finish its cycle. Coneflowers gone to seed, grasses with opened heads, hydrangeas drying down. That's not neglect, that's strategy. That's understanding your garden has its own rhythm. This is where my Autopilot garden comes in. It's not about buying more plants or cramming in extra work. It's about understanding what you actually have and how to let it work for you across the seasons.
The guide shows you which structures in your garden are naturally building toward fall, what to protect and why, and how to stop fighting your plants and start working with them. That's where real confidence comes from. You'll find it in the description below. Now, let's finish with the last two things. Fourth, dried hydrangea flowers. If you've got panicle hydrangeas, June is absolutely not the time to deadhead them hard. Right now, they look like they're winding down. Flowers are faded and papery and pale. Your instinct might be to cut them off and tidy things up, but patience pays off here. Those dried flowers are about to go on a color journey. They'll move from cream to blush to rose to rust. By late September, a panicle hydrangea that looked tired in July will look like it's been dipped in burgundy wine. By November, it's deep dusky rose, almost mauve, and they hold that color through November and into December. Cut them off now, and you've thrown away 8 weeks of color development. Leave them. Dried hydrangeas might be the single best fall color investment that requires zero input from you. Fifth, sedum, the full plant transformation. Sedums do two things at once. The foliage transforms. Depending on the variety, leaves shift from green to burgundy, or green to amber, or dusty rose tones. And the flowers, which bloom through August and September, don't just fade, they deepen. You get color from both leaves and flower heads. Taller sedums like Autumn Fire or Autumn Joy compound this, burgundy foliage and dark flower heads, the whole structure holding up through November. Come frost, some sedums actually intensify. The cold brings out deeper pigment. That's not dying, that's transformation. Leave them standing. All of this points to one truth. Your garden's visual peak is not in June. It's not when everything is fresh and actively growing. It's in October and November, when these structures have had time to develop depth and texture and color. The garden that rewards you without burning you out isn't the one where you're constantly adding and buying and planting. It's the one where you understand the natural rhythm and work with it. That's the difference. So, this week, here's what I want you to do. Walk through your garden with fresh eyes. Look at those seed heads, those dried structures, those grasses. Instead of seeing them as messy or unfinished, see them as in progress toward autumn. Imagine them in October with frost. That shift in perspective alone changes everything. Which of these are already growing in your garden? The grasses, the coneflowers, the alliums, the hydrangeas, the sedums. Drop a comment and tell me which one you're most excited to leave alone this year. And if this way of thinking about gardening speaks to you, working with natural cycles instead of fighting them, and getting beautiful results with minimum effort, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our seasonal guides on what to do and when. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening!